Hello, I am here to show you a fun little project that I've been thinking about. And what I want to do is create a project where ideally once a week I get into the studio with you all and I'm going to work on a tag. So these are, let me measure, I think these are a size 8 tag, which is like 6 1/4 by 3 1/8, something like that. So it doesn't really matter. If you want to join me, that would be awesome. And the premise of this series is what's in the bin. So my idea is to get my handy dandy trash can and create a little collage, and I'm just going to be limited by what is in here. I will not use candy wrappers, but who knows? So I'm going to dig in here for some things, and I've got kid trash. I got washi tape trash. That's also kid trash. I just thought it could be fun to grab some things. I've got all kinds of fun stuff, okay? So I'm just gonna start literally grabbing stuff that looks interesting and put it down. Oh, look, that's a great. You never know. And I don't know. I guess the idea will be to create something with everything in here and maybe an image, and then put a time limit on it too. Here's some fun bits. So I definitely have not put anything in here. It's just random stuff that I was like, okay, I can't use this stuff. I want to toss it. Ooh, some of these. Okay. And so these are some of the things that I'm going to work with and try and create a little collage. So let me get my clock. Okay. So let's see. It is almost 12. So, should we do 10 minutes, 15? I don't know. I'm just going to get started. And I'm going to write the date on the back. So I can keep track. And I don't know if I'm going to formally do any of this kind of stuff each time, but we'll see. I think some of the rules can be, should you want to join, I can use paint and stencils and that kind of thing, but all the bits and stuff are going to be definitely trash bits, okay? So I'm looking at what I have here, and I'm seeing lots of browns, but pops of reds, which is interesting. I never thought I would put those together, but I think I will. So I'm going to put a color on here to get started, okay? What color would be good? Contrast. I'm gonna do my tried and true turquoise. So I'm just gonna apply it kind of just in a random fashion. Nothing too crazy. Maybe I'll kind of edge it. I don't even know. This is going to be an experiment. This may not work out. I may not love this, but it's a fun way to, and I have extra, so I'm just gonna spread it out because maybe I can use this later for something too. But I love turquoise and red together. So those look good. I've got scissors. I've got some cool, I know, so this is from a washi tape that Lisa Young just put out, which I have to show you. It is so cute, right? So Lisa Young, I don't know if you guys can see the little label in there. Lisa Young. She's on Instagram. Love her stuff. And so anyway, I know that I want to use this little bit here. So I'm going to lay that there. This is going to be, I think, my main focal point, because in this piece of trash, like, I really don't have much in the way of a focal point, but that's going to be it. And I'm going to use some glue, and I'm just going to start gluing stuff down. So all I've done so far is just go to my trash and pick some scraps out. Ooh, I like that side better. Pick some scraps out, and those are my bits, and I'm just gonna start applying them. So I picked a color that I thought might be a nice contrast, and that's pretty much it. Was the only real limitations that I've used. I love the patterns on these security envelopes, so I know I want to add some of that too. And I'm not really thinking like how to tear the shape or what size to make the shape or anything like that. I'm literally just not thinking. I'm just adding things as I go, because this is going to be an exercise for just staying kind of fresh and loose and having fun. Low pressure is what I want this to be, okay? This is another scrap that I just found from some paper dolls I was working on today, which I'm hoping to include in the fodder packets that I want to put up for sale. I only have one more day for my fodder project, my 100-day project, which I'm really taking my time with, but that's okay. And maybe at some point these can be up for sale. Who knows? But this is a fun project, and I really want people to kind of play along with me. If you're up for it, I really would like that. I think that would be super fun. I love this one. Has the word complete. And since I don't really have anything that definitely has a word, I'm gonna pop this in there somewhere. I'm gonna play with that. I may not even need 10 or 15 minutes. Sorry, my camera is shaky. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, this is coming right along. Trying to think about placement. I love these, also these dots. These are from one of my little guys, one of their art projects. Talk about prolific. There's nothing more prolific than a 5 or 3-year-old when experimenting with art supplies. Am I right or am I right? They are quite prolific. My little 3-year-old, he doesn't like to draw as much as he just loves to cut paper. So we have paper scraps everywhere all the time. But it's kind of fun. I'll put that there. And again, I'm not really worrying too much about how things look at this point, because there are ways to kind of pull things together as you're working. And I love this little doodle here. He did something. This is super thick. Like, oh my goodness, thick. And that could be kind of nice to have in here too. I don't know if I want that brown bit because I already have a brown bit up there. I'll do something like that, or I'm gonna do it there. This is so thick. I'm gonna try and tear a layer off. It comes from the Dina Wakley craft journal, and those pages are awesome because they're so thick. So it's not even like a cardstock weight, it's thicker. So I'm just gonna put that there. It's a lot of bits and pieces, right? So it's a little disjointed, but that's okay. I'm gonna add my focal piece. I'm really loving it so far though. I'm gonna add my focal piece here, maybe a little higher. I lost all those cute little scribbles. Hold on. Tear this down a bit. I don't want to lose the scribbles. Okay. And one way to kind of pull this all together, okay, I've got all my bits on there, is to edge it out a little bit around the edges and add some more of these pops of color, right? So I have this bright red and I've got this blue, and it's not everywhere else, but that's okay. I can just doodle. And I think that doodling should be part of the process, you know, like you can add a little bit of your own signature to your creation. I don't love how these turned out, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna make them a little curvier than I do. So I've added some orange in there. Sometimes I'll bring it back in another spot, just so the eye can kind of travel like, oh, I've got some. And also when you go over layers like this, it's not something your brain wants to do, but when it's done, what you're doing is you're kind of pulling the layers together. You're making a little more sense of it. The same thing with adding colors. So if I go, you can see I love this turquoise. I have it in so many forms. So if I go in here and I add some of this turquoise on some of the layers, again, I'm pulling some of this together. I'm making a little more sense of it. I could even put a couple of pops of it there. It's just another way to kind of pull everything together, or weave it together, as I like to say. I don't really have anything else that has like cool words on it. And I wonder if that could be part of that. I feel like I have this word here, but I really like to have a little bit more than just one simple Like I like to have a bold word, so I'll add that at the end maybe. And then just to kind of pull it together, I feel like black is such a unifying color, even though I guess technically it's not a color, it's a shadow, right? But I'm just gonna pull this in together with the black a little bit. And I might even, I think all my, here's one. I was looking for a Stabilo pencil. I'm just gonna do just some scribbles on here, nothing too crazy. A couple scribbles up here too. Okay, and the scribbles kind of pull the black in a little bit. This is a very busy kind of collage. But again, when you start adding repetitive marks and repetitive doodles and then introducing the colors as you go, you're really starting to weave it all together and to create a little bit more of a story together, a color story. So like even the circle, if I put this down here, it pulls that circle together. So I just cut that out. Because this red is kind of bold, but again, if you reintroduce it a little bit, you can. And then also here, well, I could do this the lazy way. Do that. I can even outline it if I want. Again, it just kind of pulls everything together. And even like introducing lines too. Like if I start gridding this out a little bit, that can also make everything look a little more intentional. Okay, so you're adding different layers. And I mean, this looks kind of done to me. I really, really like it. I might add some pops of something pinkish up here. I love, as far as gel pens, I love the Moonlight Sakura gel pens. So maybe I'll put some of those, some hash marks up here. So, I mean, this is like a really busy collage, way more busy than I usually do. I tend to be more of a minimalist, but it's just a fun way to like give yourself a couple of constraints and come up with something that is fun and kind of beautiful. I could finish this off. If you wait, I will get I have some pretty sari material from that cool rug project. Oh, I love this red. So I'm gonna cut this, right? Just tear it. Now, I might not keep this sari fabric in here. I really don't know, but I'm just showing you. If you were working on a tag and you wanted to make a series, which that's what I'm kind of hoping to do with this project, you know, you can trim it down and make a really fun tag, right? And because I've put something in here, I've really pulled that red and the turquoise all together. And I like it. Now I have even more scraps that I can go put back in my trash, and hopefully I can join you again next week. So I'll put a posting on my Instagram about this too, but I would like to call this What's in the Bin. I'll try and come up with a hashtag too. So if you guys join me, you can post your projects too. Thank you. See you next week.